'Tis a cloudy night. Wait, what? 'Tis a foggy night in Inaba tonight. Damn, I knew I would mess that up. Whatever. It's a pretty foggy night tonight. That was really unexpected, too. I knew it would rain today, but I didn't know about fog. So, we have made it to 20 for Shiny Giratina. Let's see how much longer it takes. So, I have been seeing a lot of Chainsaw Man memes online recently. Something about the ending to the movie. I don't know what any of it means because I haven't started watching Chainsaw Man yet. But I know No Shaman Feeding watched it. And so I just, whenever I see the memes, I send it to him. And he's just like, how much have you gotten spoiled by now? I'm just like, none. I don't know what any of this means. So I just keep on sending him memes, and I just don't understand. He's just like, when are you gonna watch it, It's such a great show, when are you gonna watch it? And I told him, you know what? I'm only watching 4 shows right now, and I'm still behind 3. Maybe I'll watch it next. Because yes, you already know I'm watching 4 shows right now. And, what are the 3 shows I'm behind? Well, there's still Dead Boy Detectives, Sandman Season 2, and Season 3 of Spy X Family. So, yeah, I am quite behind, and that's not counting the handful of other shows that I mentioned I would eventually watch. So, I didn't do this last night. Oop, there I am. I didn't do this last night because my friends came over. We were celebrating one of my friends finally getting a girlfriend. Ending up with someone we knew from back in high school. So, hey, that's great. Congrats to him. Congrats to them. Then again, we also just haven't hung out in like a month, so the guys wanted to get together. It's also bases off of his work schedule, too, if he has time to take off to come and hang out with us at night. We were also joking around, too. We made a joke. So, the way the joke played out, I swear to God, someone's gonna get offended by this. So, the way the joke started was, our friends, we were discussing, what nickname do you have for your girlfriend? Like, what cute name do you have? What do you call her? And then they were throwing out ideas. I wasn't really paying attention, because I was watching the movie that we had on. And then, when I did tune back in, I just heard one of them say, hard R, you know what I mean. And then, that's the topic I came back to. I'm just like, is that your nickname for her, hard R? And then we just all started laughing. That is quite the nickname for your girlfriend, I'm not gonna lie. You call her hard R. Anyways, it's just a joke, people. So, today, I would have talked about the movie we watched last night, which was Megan 2.0. I would be discussing that film here tonight. However, the guys are over. While the movie's playing, we were chatting, laughing. I didn't really get the chance to really listen to the movie, take in everything that was being said. I understand the plot for the most point, but I feel like it would do me good if I were to rewatch the film on my own, in silence, really take in the film before I really dive deep into it. So, I'm gonna rewatch it and at some point, and then I'll talk about it. I know I said that about Until Dawn, but still, you know. So, today in Pokemon Go was day 1 of the Into the Wild event. The second wild event there is. And I want to show you guys what I got. My haul for the day. However, before that, I want to show you what I got a couple days ago. Let me just do one more reset and then I'll show you. Okay, so yesterday in Pokemon Go, I got this. I got a background Hundo Necrozma. This is my first ever Hundo Legendary from a raid. Now, I did have this previously, a 96 IV Necrozma with the background. My plan initially was to fuse this to a Lunala, because 1, it's great IVs, 2, it has the background, and 3, I prefer regular Dawn Wings Necrozma to the shiny. I like the blue better than the pink. But fuck that, I'm gonna fuse this one instead. The Hundo with a background, and same thing, it's, can you believe? Normal, it's not shiny. So yeah, I got this Hundo yesterday. And so here was my haul for day 1. These are the shinies I got. Sorry for the poor quality, by the way. These are the shinies I got. These are the 98 IVs I got. Most of them are mighty Pokemon. These are the 96 IVs, so 2 off the Hundo. And these are the many 94 IVs, so 3 off the Hundo. I got way more mighty Pokemon than these. It's just these were the best IV ones. Oh yeah, you see that one was a shiny? The Rapidash. So these are all of the 94 IVs I got today, including that L unknown. And then these are the Hundos I got. A Hundo Drapion. What? Hundo Drapion, Mawile, and a Uxie. I got a Hundo Uxie off of the Incense. It was the only Lake Guardian I got today, and it was a Hundo. Now, I don't have a screenshot of it, but I did also get 3 background Bewares. So that is my haul for today. I got a shiny Clefairy, mighty Obstagoon, Snubble, 3 Impidimps, and a mighty shiny Galarian Rapidash. I got, in terms of 98 IVs, I got the Marrow from the field research, Garchomp, Meowscarada, 2 Obstagoons, actually. 2 Meowscaradas, 2 Obstagoons, and 2 Absols. And then I got a shit ton of 94 IVs, or 93 IVs, so, you know, 3 off the Hundo. And hey, 3 actual Hundos. I really wanted either a Hundo or a shiny Meowscarada. I would have just settled for simply a female one. A mighty female Meowscarada, but sadly, all the Meowscaradas I got were male, and none were Hundo or shiny. Well, that's a shame. Well, I tried my hand at getting the shiny Shadow Cresselia, no luck. Oh well, I'm sure it'll return at some point. And obviously, I tried my hands at a couple raids for the costume Beware, no luck. Oh well. That kind of sucks, but oh well. Now tomorrow, on day 2, is where I'm really gonna go crazy, because I want that Shadow Shiny Darkrai. Even just one, I'll take it. I want that shiny Shadow Darkrai. In fact, I could be rating it right now if I wasn't here with you. Earlier tonight, I did do a remote raid for Shadow Darkrai. Wasn't shiny, but it was a purifiable hundo. It was a 15-13-13. So if I want a hundo Darkrai, there you go. I might. Not gonna lie, I might. But first, the shiny. So tomorrow, my plan is to go crazy for that Shadow Shiny Darkrai. Because unlike Cresselia, which I imagine will come back at some point, I don't imagine Shadow Darkrai will come back anytime soon. I could be wrong. So actually, I didn't have enough time to watch everything to break down for today. I was honestly about to break down Megan 2.0, but then I decided, you know what? With my botched viewing experience, probably best not to. So instead, I only had time to watch It Welcome to Derry and Has-Been Hotel. I didn't have time to watch Peacemaker or Gen V. But you know what? That's okay. These are the newer shows. They generate more excitement. At least from me. So let's only talk about those two shows for today. And the next time, if I find the time, Peacemaker and Gen V as well. Unless Giratina would very graciously like to be shiny right now. By the way, I'm almost done with my ZA Pokedex. At least I've caught everything, almost, that I need. I just need to evolve what's left. And that's just the regular dex. I still need to work on my alpha dex. That'll be fun. I need 3 alpha EVs. Because I at least get the luxury of catching everything but Eevee, Espeon, and Umbreon from the bottom of Prism Tower. So I can just catch all of those alpha. But for the other two evolutions, no, I actually have to evolve those myself. So I need at least 3 alpha EVs. I'm currently at level 45 with Mabel's research, so I'm very close to getting to level 49, which is, you know, the cutoff point for having to do the 1,000 battles. Which will definitely help when it comes to not only grinding money, but also grinding EXP to evolve everything I need to evolve. And also, Challenger's Ticket 14 more times to get AZ's Floette. See, I strategically finished the Pokedex before doing the 1,000 battles. When you do things strategically, you strategize. Man, I barely ate anything today. Not only was it because it was pretty busy at work today, but also because, well, whenever I had free time, no time to eat. I had to go out and try to get me some mighty Pokemon. So I barely ate anything today. Now, I did have dinner. I didn't have a big breakfast, nor did I eat lunch. There was also more news that Funko Pop really is potentially going out of business. It's a bit of a shame, honestly. I don't really eat anything today, nor did I really drink any water. Yeah, I definitely could be raiding Darkrai right now. All I need is one. I just need one Darkrai. That's all I want. Just one. And you know what else? The Necrozmas I just showed you, the Hundo with the background I got the other day, well, yesterday, and then the one I got a handful of months ago, I decided I am going to, one day, fuse the Hundo with a Lunala, and you know what? I may as well fuse the other one with a Solgaleo. It's giving me a Dusk Mane. I may as well. I mean, the whole point of me best buddying it was I wanted it to be a Dawn Wings Necrozma. But now that I got one better, you already know. Issue is, I don't have enough Solar Fusion energy. I didn't grind for it a couple days ago when Dusk Mane Necrozma was in raids because I didn't think I would get the Hundo. With the background, nonetheless. But yeah, I'll keep my eyes on it next time the raid boss comes up. Gonna grind for some energy. Do you guys want to see my ZA Pokedex process? Or progress? So, not everything is fully evolved yet, so keep that in mind. There are things that still need to be evolved. If this would focus. There you go. So yeah. For the most part, my Pokedex is complete. I need one more Eevee. And then for those ones, I want those to be from the side mission. And then here's my progress on alphas at the moment. Still things I need to get, obviously. There's more gaps. But for the most part, here's my process for my alpha dex. Not bad, not bad. Stable, steady progress. So I just need one more Eevee. I need to do the side missions for the Chespin and the Fennekin. And then I just need to evolve the rest. Now, I got a buddy on standby, ready to help me with all the trade evolutions. You know, I thought about that, actually. You know how in Legend ZA, there is the link cable item to help evolve with that? Isn't it kind of funny that in the Pokemon universe, in the distant past, they had an item, a man-made looking item, to help evolve Pokemon that need to evolve via trade, but not in present day. The past had that item. I don't know, maybe in present day Pokemon, they thought we have modern technology that can trade Pokemon. So we don't need that item anymore. So as you can see, I pretty much caught every static alpha I can and need that can also evolve. And I also caught every alpha possible underneath Prism Tower. So the rest is up to, well, the grind. Yay. You know, there's no room for regrets now. I came this far into my alpha dex. I gotta finish it. Something else I didn't realize was in this game. If you go into the Pokédex, there's a freaking Mega Dex. I didn't know about that. That's something I will have to work on as well. Oh, by the way, it didn't show, but everything you just saw with my Pokédex is in regular Pokeballs. Regular Pokeballs only. No Ultra Balls, no Quick Balls, no Premier Balls. Everything only Pokeball. And yes, all the Alphas too. I'll talk about the shows in a moment. Oop. I hit the A button on my Switch. By the way, my Switch now dies at like 50% battery. It's gotten worse. It used to die at 30%. You know, I was debating to switch to Ultra Sun, see if my luck would be better there, but it's like, nah, I ain't no bitch. I'm gonna follow this through. I see on Discord, there's so many Shadow Darkrai raids I could be joining. But I'm here doing this. Now, if Giratina would like to be very kind to me and quickly be shiny so that I can hop off and join the many Shadow Darkrai raids, you know, a friend of mine who was also doing the Pokemon Go event today, he tried his best to get a shiny Gigantamax Grimmsnarl. Me personally, I don't give a shit about Gigantamaxes. I don't care about those. Given how difficult they are to actually win, to me, the payoff is just not worth it. There's never enough for me to actually do one in person. There's never enough people for me to do one in person. So, the only way I can realistically win in Gigantamax, Gigantamax raids is online with remote raid passes. However, they're not easy, even with a lot of people, and shiny odds, yeah, I don't really care. Also, the fact that you cannot send them to Pokemon Home doesn't help. you know, longevity's sake. One day, when Pokemon Go dies, I won't be able to save those shinies by sending them to Pokemon Home. So it's like, yeah, I don't really care to do those Gigantamax raids. I can understand the appeal, of course I can. An exclusive form. But, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna bother wasting my money on that. Because at least with raids, like actual raids, you could maybe do them in person and more people are likely to actually do that. And if anything, Gigantamax raids are twice as expensive. Not only do you need the remote raid pass, you also need the particle pack if you run out of Dynamax particles. So, no thank you. I will pass. Usually I do them whenever I'm in person and there actually is enough people to do them, but if that's not the case, then I don't really bother. Unless I'm feeling generous and, you know, I just want to give a shot. Try my luck at a shiny, but if not, then I don't care. I don't usually do those. Well, during that time, I just caught the final Eevee I needed. I tell you, they are not easy to catch. So now I have 9 Eevees. Perfect. I also find it stupid why you can't evolve Eevee into Umbreon with a Moonstone, into Espeon with a Sunstone. For God's sake, they changed it to where you can get a Leafeon with a Leaf Stone, and then a Glaceon with an Ice Stone. And if you're wondering about Sylveon, I would say the Shiny Stone. Oh, you want to know what else my friends and I talked about last night? So naturally we were curious and we were asking about how did you two meet up again after high school? You know, how did the two of you meet up again? So he told me that they just ate at the same restaurant at the same time. He told me that she took a video. Like, okay, so the two of them ate separately at the same restaurant coincidentally. He noticed her. So then he abruptly, out of nowhere, texted her, like, hey, were you at this restaurant? Because I was there too, and I think I saw you. You know, just texting her abruptly from, like, Instagram. And then she's like, yeah, I was. I took a video too. It's like, am I in that video? Send me the video, let me see. It's like, yeah, there I am. In the video you took while you were eating dinner, there I am. And then they continued talking, continued texting, continued meeting up, and, well, the rest is history. And then we were joking about, like, damn, that's all it takes, huh? Just reunite with someone from high school. Just run into someone from high school, and then, yeah. Sadly, though, that kind of fairy tale romance story is never going to happen for me. You know, I did run into a handful of people from high school. But, well, clearly nothing came from it. And then I noticed something. So, we as a group of friends are... There's 7 of us, and now 3 of us are spoken for, and I couldn't help but notice, hey, wait a second. I can't help but notice a pattern here. The 3 who are spoken for now don't have sisters. Either have a brother or are only child. So, the 4 of us remaining... The 4 of us have sisters! It's like, wait a second, couldn't help but notice that trend. I am seeing so many Darkrai raids I am missing out on. Oh yeah, you want to know what else I thought about? So, Frostlass got a Mega to pair with Glalie, but Slowking did not. Slowking did not get a Mega to pair with Slowbro. What the hell? Alright, without further delay, let us talk about it. Welcome to Dairy. Well, actually, let me take a drink first. Oh, right. That's right. The silver bottle cap is available too. I used it on my very first ever Decidueye, which is the very first Rowlet I caught in the game. Now, I got lucky, I think. I can't really remember. That one I got that says the date of when Rowlet debuted into Pokemon Go. It was like a 1/15/15. So perfect. Now this despite the fact that I already have 2 hundos in the game, and I just made a third one. It doesn't matter. It's not even shiny either. Doesn't matter. It's about the principle. Decidueye, my favorite Pokemon. The very first one I ever got in the game. At least according to the date. Perfect. My favorite Pokemon, I get to hundo the very first one I ever got in the game. It's about the principles. Not about the quantity. It's about the principles. Man, the scene that just plays in my head is that scene with Ken Jeong. It's not about the money. It's about the principles. Principles? I'm not gonna say the rest. Principles? We both dead inside. Anyways, welcome to Dairy. So, we follow up with Lily being treated at Juniper Hill Asylum. That's the name of the place. I forgot about it last time. And, well, she's getting ready to be released. She gets some advice from this nice lady who was kind to her and gave her some advice like, if this Ronnie girl is really that important to you, then you'll find a way to make it right. So Lily offers Ronnie a compromise. So Ronnie gets picked on at school, you know how it goes. There's stuff written on her locker. She tries to rub it off with her bare hands, stupidly. So she goes to the bathroom to wash it off, and Lily comes in to talk to her. And she offers a compromise. I know that your father was innocent, but if we tell them the truth, they won't believe us. They'll just think I'm even more crazy, since I've been to Juniper Hill Inn twice now. Juniper Hill Inn? Juniper Hill Asylum. Where have I heard that before? Juniper Hill Inn. Where have I heard that before? Wait, isn't that the place in the Hotel Hell? Yeah, it is. Juniper Hill Inn. Anyways. So, Lily offers a compromise. We need proof. We need proof in order to get the adults to believe us. So she pulls out her camera. She wants to take a picture of all the weird things that keep happening to them. Although, if they have the pictures, they don't know how to develop it. Do they know anyone who can develop film? So, they go to a diner where Rich and Will are eating at, recruiting their help. Obviously, their story sounds crazy and they don't believe them at first, but then first, Lily takes all of them up to the secret hideout that belonged to the boys, not those boys. And then Rich just keeps on spewing nonsense until he kind of just says some stupid stuff like, oh, my uncle, he would do this thing where you have to summon the weird things from happening. It's an evil spirit that is haunting you guys. You need to summon it. How do we do that? Oh, he no problem. He does it all the time. Graveyard at night, candles. It's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Wait a second, that's not how this episode opened up. Wait, that's right. This episode opened up... Jesus Christ, I am everywhere. This episode opens up with a flashback to the year 1908, where a circus is in town, and we follow this kid going through it. He goes into the haunted house. He also notices he also notices this kid dressed up as a clown during it. Clowns, huh? There were also more turtle symbolisms at the circus. So, this kid, he goes into this haunted house where he gets scared by this guy that kind of looks like Cillian Murphy's. Cillian Murphy's character in 28 Years Later. This, like, shriveled up, bony corpse with one eye. At first I was wondering, is that it? But, no, it seems like someone actually playing a part there. So this boy, his father won him a slingshot. As they were leaving, the car breaks down, so he gives the boy a little bit of money to go buy some water, which from a little stand that was conveniently right where the car broke down. So the boy tries to buy some water, but is short, because the water is a whopping 5 cents. So that's expensive. 5 cents for some water? So to pay the rest off, he seemingly traded the slingshot. The boy's father looks a little upset, like, hey, where's that slingshot of yours? Oh, son, did you lose it already? But then we see that the boy and the girl running the water stand, they became friends. They run around. So they run around, they play tag and whatnot, they run around, have fun, until the boy, he runs into the dark part of the forest where that same bony guy that he saw inside of the haunted house in the circus starts chasing him and then becomes a big, scary monster. They fight it off with the slingshot. And then the girl says, "Can you keep a secret?" It's later revealed that, well, we meet who the girl grew up into. So she's a character named Rose, and then the boy, it turns out that he is Francis. Wow, I really did not piece that together. Francis Shaw. I had to look up his last name. I kind of forgot the character's last name. Francis Shaw, the boy we saw in the flashback, is him. That caught me off guard. I did not piece that together. So, when young Rose told him, "Can you keep a secret?" she knows about Pennywise, or she knows about it, and told Francis. And that's what it seems like Francis is genuinely looking for in order to win the Cold War, it seems. Like, he is actively searching for Pennywise, to weaponize Pennywise. That is insane. That is crazy. And, you know, he's not even doing it out of ill intent or malicious intent, too. He's just trying to get ahead of a war, you know, at the time. He's not doing it for, like, yes, cosmic power. I can rule the world with this. So Shaw seems to actually want to find and weaponize it, Pennywise. Which is an absolute insane desire, but alright, you do you. We also see in the episode that Halloran has been put, as a human compass, as they say. So Hanlon and I really forget his friend's name. He's barely a character in the show so far. They are tasked with flying Halloran up and just following wherever he says. So then Shaw gives him a little box to, you know, do his senses on, his psychic power senses off of. That box was the slingshot. Now, immediately right there, I should have pieced together that General Shaw was Francis, was the boy in the flashback, but I didn't. No, I didn't. I was just wondering, how did he get the slingshot? Is the boy dead? Maybe I'm just stupid. I mean, we already know that's the case. So, Halloran is able to sense things with that slingshot, and he even has a vision. He sees this little circus that literally says Pennywise the Clown, and then he sees the sewers with that mountain, that pile of kids, that pile of carcasses, and also the floating kids. Halloran actually sees it, and he almost crazily jumps off of the plane while it's still in the air. I gotta say, I understand HBO Max, this is a show, not a film, but CGI for that helicopter was a little bit spotty. Now, I get it, it was also daytime as well. But, you know, it works. It was a little bit spotty, but it works. So, General Shaw asks Halloran what he saw, and Halloran's just like, we didn't see it, it saw us. Ooh. So then Shaw is just like, thank you. If there's anything you need, just let me know. And then Halloran's just like, yeah, actually there is. See, us boys, we can't exactly go anywhere to relax without being harassed. So if you know of a place, please let us know. Anyway, so Hanlon and his wife Charlotte, they have Halloran over for dinner. Halloran asks, where's your son? Like, you know, you introduced me to your wife, where's that son of yours? So Hanlon's just like, oh, my son, he's out with friends right now. However, later on, their conversation goes, I never told you I had a son. You know, when you asked me if I had a son, or where my son is, I felt this thing in the back of my head. No way to really describe it besides it felt strange, and I only felt it one other time. When I had that gun pointed to my head when those people attacked me at night in bed. You were there. You didn't swing the pipe at me, but you were there. You were one of them, and you read my mind at that point too. It's like, ooh, very perceptive, Hanlon. Trying to think, did anything else happen with the kids? You know, besides the ending, of course. Oh yeah, not the kids, but the Native Americans. So, the Native Americans we saw in the last episode, there's a big community of them, and they are pretty pissed that the military is digging up on their sacred land, trying to search for something. However, Rose knows exactly what it is they're looking for, but, you know, just can't say it. Later on, Francis pays Rose a visit, and it's like, and then Francis is just like, Rose is just like, did you forget me? Did you forget my name after 50 years? It's like, yeah, I did. When I left this town, I did forget you. But then when I came back, it all started coming back to me. Now that's something established in It Chapter 2. We even get a flashback laying out exactly this, where Rose tells Francis before he left for whatever his father had to do. Rose straight up told him that you will forget me. Something happens to you when you leave this town. That's something about Derry. You leave, you forget everything. But then you come back, you start to gain all those memories back. Interesting. Alright, so our kid characters do the absolute stupidest thing ever. They literally do exactly what Rich told them to do. That is, go to the cemetery at night, light candles, utter some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of like chant. You idiots. And if I'm to be honest, I'm surprised Pennywise fell for it. Pennywise should have known these kids were trying to get evidence. Anyway, so they realize Rich is full of bullshit. What he's saying is absolutely stupid. So one by one, they get onto their bikes and get ready to leave. As they're leaving, well, the weird things start to happen. There was also this Jesus statue that moved and started smiling too, but nothing really came from that. Man, I thought a Jesus statue was actually going to chase after them. I feel like maybe that would have offended a particular community, so they just opted not to do that. I don't know, I think that would have been pretty cool to see. But instead, so the exit just starts getting further and further, no matter how fast they pedal towards it. And then ghosts show up. The ghosts of Maddie, the ghosts of Susie, of Phil, of Ted. The ghosts of the kids that died in the past few episodes showed up. This was some real Ghostbusters type of shit right here. Graphically, even looked the same too. So one by one, they get chased, they get haunted, and one by one, they try to take pictures because they just keep on losing that camera. Until eventually Will, he got his hands on the camera. Everyone kind of left his ass. Not intentionally, but he kind of was left behind. He notices this little, like, this, I don't even know what it's called. This little gate-looking place inside the cemetery. He hears noises in it, and without any survival instinct, goes in. And then when he does go in, he takes a picture. We see a light flash. And then he flees for his life. The four of them, they reassemble. They're like, oh yeah, we got the pictures. Let's go develop them. So they do go and develop them. So I'm surprised the pictures actually worked. Like, it actually worked. So they developed the pictures of Ghost Susie, Ghost Ted, or whoever the kid was. And then the picture that that Will took at the very end, there's this very blurry, very poor quality picture of a figure, a silhouette, a being standing there. And then the final words for the episode, it's a clown. Ooh, Pennywise is coming. I just want to see goddamn Pennywise. I want to see him. That's all I want to see. I want to see our kids' reaction to seeing Pennywise. Like seeing, oh, you're behind all of the weird, crazy stuff that's happening. Like, I want to see them be tormented by Pennywise. I want to see that. 3 episodes and still no Pennywise. You know, seeing the other forms that it takes is cool, but I want to see Pennywise. I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm being a little critical. Some of the acting from the kids was a little bit off in this episode. Maybe that's just me. Well, let's take a moment before we talk about has-been hotel. Can you believe Bill Skarsgård has been playing Pennywise for 8 years now? 2017 to 2000. 2017 to 2025. I almost said 2005. Still counts. You know what's pretty funny to think that when you talk about how long an actor has been playing a role for, it only counts for the release dates of the projects. Because, you know, they film a movie a year in advance. Around a year, maybe if you're lucky, probably not. Say you film in January and the film comes out by December. Probably not the case. Sometimes, maybe. Depends if it's like a smaller budget film. But yeah, it's like, it always bases off of the release date. So technically, Bill Skarsgård has been playing Pennywise in 2016 to, I assume, 2024. Because they probably filmed this stuff a year in advance. It took that long of post-production. Post-production, reshoots, all that stuff. And then take like Wesley Snipes playing Blade. There was like a nearly, a 20-year gap, but still counts. He still played the character from the 90s to the 2020s. It all bases on the release dates, doesn't it? Alright, well, I think now is a good time. Let's talk about that Has-Been Hotel episode. So episode 3! This episode follows after... The hell? I'm just seeing... Hold on, I'm seeing... Hold on, I just have YouTube pulled up on my monitor. I'm seeing 2 different thumbnails that are damn near the same. Anyways, yeah. Episode 3 is the one that finally continues the story. Now we follow up on the ending to episode 1, where Charlie got told all that stuff from Emily. So Charlie very excitedly goes over and tells everyone what Emily just told her. The fact that heaven is in lockdown and that Penchus is now in heaven, so she is super excited. So she decides... Oh, wait. She also looks out and sees a blimp? I forget what she called it. Advertising that Charlie is a dictator. And so... Wow, I'm seeing a crazy thumbnail here. So Charlie has the idea to call Vox Tech to get them and give them an interview. That way, to reveal to the world that Penchus made it to heaven, that redemption is possible, and also to tell the world that Charlie ain't no dictator. So, yeah, she contacts Vox Tech, against Vaggy's warnings. We also see that Cherry Bomb really does miss Penchus. She doesn't know if she feels the romance towards him as well, or, as the song later implies, that she's just bored out of her mind without Penchus here as her rival. So, she hears from Husker while drinking at his bar that Baxter, who is now in the basement of the hotel, actually was close with Penchus. So, she wants to go and talk to Baxter to learn more about Penchus. So she does. It turns out that Baxter and Penchus used to be partners. They would create inventions, but then their inventions were too old school, too outdated, the technology, and then Penchus deemed that Baxter's experiments were too cruel, too inhumane, so he left with his egg minions to go do his own things. Alright, neat. We also get this, like, not gonna lie, this pretty fire-sounding song between Penchus and Cherry Bomb. It actually sounded really good. I really like that song. That's really all we get from Penchus, is just that song. So, Vox and Velvet show up to the Hasbin Hotel for Charlie's interview. And they ask her a couple of questions, and then they take everything out of context and spin it in the wrong way. And then I kind of side with what Vox said here. Where's your proof? Because Charlie's just like, I kind of lied about the interview to get you guys here because I have an exclusive to share with you today. Our friend Penchus has been redeemed, and he did make it to heaven. So booyah, the hotel works. I'm not a dictator. Take that, fuckers. So Vox is just like, where's the proof? You know, where is he? Where's the redeemed sinner? Charlie's just like, oh, he's not actually here. He's up in heaven, because, you know, that was the whole point. Alright, so then how did the angel tell you? Did she fly down here? No, actually, she came through a portal, and she's gone now. So, like, where's the proof? You know, I can't just report this to hell. I don't want to spread misinformation. So Charlie's just like, wait, I can prove it to you. I can prove that we can redeem someone. Right here in front of you. Oh boy, what has she done now? Oh yeah, she also, before Vox showed up, she tried to call to Alistair, but then Alistair said nothing and then he just disappeared as Vox and Velvet showed up. So, like, Alistair still hasn't really done anything yet. 3 episodes in, and he barely said anything. He hasn't done anything yet. What is Alistair plotting? So, they need someone to redeem before their eyes. They volunteer Angel Dust. Even though Angel Dust wants nothing to do with it, because Vox and Velvet, they work alongside Valentino, you know. Angel Dust is very abusive, very disgusting, very bad employer. But they make a compelling case, like, if anyone here is closest to being redeemed, it's you, Angel. So what do you say? So he gives it a shot. Charlie has his musical, singing about redemption and how Angel is almost redeemed. It was very goofy. During the musical, Charlie kind of has another mental breakdown that Penchus is actually redeemed. Like, they still don't know how redemption works. It kind of just happened with Penchus. So Charlie has this plan where she plays this railroad villain. She tied up Husker to train tracks on the hotel. Like a genuine train that could cause harm and death. It wasn't just make-believe. Despite the fact that she had a button that could stop it at any time. So Husker is tied up to the tracks, and, you know, the train is about to legitimately kill him, if not for Angel Dust saving him. So Angel Dust is just like, man, I'm done with all this noise, the hell with all this, I'm out. So Charlie presses the button to try to get it to stop, but Vox tampered with it because he realizes there's no actual stakes involved. So the panic happens, Husker is in genuine danger, so Angel actually jumps in to save him. Or he tries. But then Vaggie had to fly in and save the two of them, and to my surprise, Husker is actually pretty mad at him. Mad at him, because, like, yeah, you tried to save me, but you jumped in front of a train to do it, you idiot. Throughout the whole time, Husker was just like, I should have said nothing. I shouldn't have opened my mouth. So then Vox actually just outs what Angel's sin is. Because they realized, based on what Vaggie said, that Penchus redeemed his sins. So, we just need to find out what Angel's sins are, and that he can go against that, repent for what he's done, and bam, he's redeemed. And that's when Vox is just like, oh, but do you know what his sins are? What do you really think there is redemption for murderers? What was it? Your father, Angel, you killed him for what? He was hitting you? Me personally, I don't see what the big deal is. There are stories, tons of stories out there where someone kills their abusive father. I don't see what the big deal is. But, you know, Angel didn't want that to come out. So, Charlie, she's now furious because, you know, Vox is harassing Angel and she won't stand for it. She throws herself into the fire, actually. She's just like, you can make fun of me, you can mock me, but I draw the line at my friends. It's time for you to leave. But you're the one who invited us. Ooh, these guys are not nice. And then Vox actually asks, Princess, I just have one question. Do you think I can be redeemed? It's like, damn, I don't have as much faith as Charlie does, because no, I would not say Vox can be redeemed. You know what I was kind of worried about, given the direction that they could have gone? And I'm surprised no one's actually thought about this, at least maybe not yet in the show. If Charlie announced to the world, to Pentagram City, that 1, angels can be killed, and 2, you can be redeemed and make your way to heaven via, you know, redemption, kind of like Penchus did, I'm surprised that no one's thought of, hey, if I go to that hotel, I'm redeemed, I go to heaven, I get to kill the angels in their home turf. I'm surprised no one's thought of that. We haven't really heard of a serial killer in heaven, because why would we? Why would a serial killer be in heaven? So, Vox and Velvet, they leave and they laugh their ass off because they're about to broadcast to the world very clearly altered footage of Charlie. And then it's just like, we have real witnesses, and it's just Velvet in the shadow with her altered voice. Like, when I made it to the hotel, Charlie approached me with the fist in hand, and then, oh, she struck me. It's like, people actually believe them? But we do see that this causes some damage to the hotel's brand, because we see guests. Throughout the episode, we did see a couple of guests that the hotel had. Well, we see those guests put back their room keys, check out, but one hand did pick up a key. And then the final scene of the episode, Cherry Bomb reveals that she decided to stay at the hotel. I still can't get over how good that song was between Penchus and Cherry Bomb. So yeah, pretty much it. Well, I don't have much else to talk about today. Why am I sending you stuff while I'm streaming? Because I ran out of things to talk about, so now I'm watching things. Because these songs are good as hell, I'm not gonna lie. Watching the behind the scenes just kind of makes it even better. You know, I really wish studios would release more of this. More, not just snippets, you know? I want to see the entire voice acting process. I want to see actual footage of the voice actors saying all their lines. Not just little compilations. I want to see the whole process. I want to see the many cuts. Them saying the lines like a dozen times before they land on the right one, the right tone that they're going to use. I want to see all that stuff. Oh yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of discourse, a lot of division online over Brie Larson voicing Rosalina. People are divided. People are hating on her. People say it's peak casting. Because, you know, to me, she is a good actress. And I don't care about, you know, the reputation Captain Marvel has. That wasn't her fault. That was just a shitty script. To me, it's more so just her reputation. You know, her toxicity towards men a couple years ago. But it does seem like she learned to shut the hell up since then. And also, I am aware, actually I wasn't, I now am. I didn't know that she was a huge Nintendo fan. I think I heard that before, but I kind of forgot. I think, you know, the fact that she's a huge gamer as well. I do remember her saying she wanted to play Samus. And you know what? That I would actually be down for. I don't know, it's just her goddamn reputation that's kind of making me like, her as Rosalina. A part of me likes it. Because, you know, I do think Brie Larson's a good actress. It's just her... it's just her reputation. It's kind of like... I feel bad kind of comparing her to them, but it's kind of like Rachel Zegler. You see her in a very big role, but then you realize it's her. Or what about what's her name? What was her name actually? Tati Gabrielle, right? That's her stinking name. Yeah, she is the one playing Jade. It's just like, Now I'm kind of less interested since she's playing Jade. You know? Given her comments of masculinity. Tea made from the tears of incels is what that post said. So, yeah, you can't blame me for being a little bit divided, a little bit conflicted on these certain people being cast on these very popular roles, too. This is Jade we're talking about. She's a big character. And then, well, in the movie, she's gonna be bald. I wouldn't feel as bad of her being cast as Jade if she at least had hair. Anyways, what did you send me here? Solo leveling Arise outtakes. I mean, obviously that's a skit, or, you know, that's a joke, but, you know, like, I want to see the full outtakes for voice acting. You know, we also don't really see that with the behind-the-scenes footage, too. We always see the characters voice, like, the iconic lines, the serious lines, but then we never ever see the characters voice the smaller conversations, the small pieces of dialogue. It's always the big moments. We never see footage of anyone voicing the small conversations. The very minor voice-acted things, like the grunting noises. We never see any of that. Like, I want to see that kind of stuff in the behind-the-scenes. Just become a voice actor to see the behind-the-scenes. Man, if I had any sort of skills, I would. Because I think, I already said, I feel like working on projects like this would be so fun. I feel like voice acting would also be fun as hell, too. Just screaming into a microphone until you get the right tone, or the right take. I think that'd be fun as hell. Well, it's too bad I'm not, you know, say, part of something Broadway, and then a casting agency sees me, just happens to be there as well. Then again, let's be honest, if I was on screen, my acting would be as flat as, say, The Weeknd. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention about the Welcome to Derry episode? During the beginning, we had a freaking cameo for himself from Andy Muschietti. He played the pianist during the haunted house sequence. Because he's not the one who directed this episode, so not behind the camera, he was able to be in front of the camera. That was cool, I did notice that. And, you know, it's kind of crazy to think. In the past, you know, a century ago, there was no electric speakers to play ominous, foreboding music inside of haunted houses. There literally needed to be a guy present playing the piano. Wow, I didn't think about that. I also find it hilarious that you look at Pennywise, you can see exactly where the cutoff is for the bald cap. Like, you can see exactly where the cutoff is for the prosthetic forehead and where actual human skin ends. Like, they couldn't even make it more discreet either. You know where it was kind of discreet? You can barely tell where the skin stops and the prosthetics start. Oswald Cobb. That makeup for Colin Farrell was top notch. Did they ever win any awards for the makeup on that? You know, as of right now, it's a bit of a shame that all the movies super worth being hype over is coming up in the future. I could say that for any point in time. There's so many good movies on the horizon, too. When exactly is Mortal Kombat 2 coming out? Oh, it's all the way in May. That's like 6 months from now. I want it now! Like, I could list off 4 hype films coming out, quite a while from now, too. There's both Avengers movies. We should have had Avengers Secret Wars already. Remember that promise? So there's Doomsday and Secret Wars. We still have Beyond the Spider-Verse. Remember that? There's also Sonic the Hedgehog 4. I can't wait to see that. We also have the next Godzilla X Kong movie. Not only that, we also have Godzilla Minus Zero at some point too. God damn, there's so many movies coming out. I feel like Hollywood is getting its shit back now. Now that all of the bullshit woke dumbass crap is finally being let out of the pipeline. Well, almost. There's still a little bit of stinkers that snuck their way in. But still, for the most part, it seems like Hollywood is getting their shit back together, at least politically, that is. Now we just have to deal with the problem that is the over-bloated budgets and the diminishing returns. Well, it was a long, nearly decade of political crap coming out of Hollywood, but it kind of does finally seem like we're leaving that era. Although, like I said, there's still some stinkers that sneak their way in. So, until I see the whole process be cleansed, I will believe it when I see it. I'm trying to think. What are some upcoming shows to be excited for? The only upcoming show I can think of is Wonder Man. I'm not too particularly excited about that. I'll watch it, but I'm not overly hyped for it. Of course, Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. We're not gonna get that messy, Joss Whedon Frankenstein project that was Season 1. Season 2 should be clean, straightforward, and actually consistent. Season 1 was a little disappointing given the hype, but Season 2, we should finally be back. We're gonna get more of the characters that we want. We're finally gonna get more Karen Page. We're finally gonna get some more Bullseye himself. Well, Foggy's dead. We'll have to see if he can return somehow. Instead of Sherry, the other woman's character, they're not memorable. They're not memorable whatsoever. I'm glad they fired all the initial writers and producers and whatnot. Don't you guys just love movie magic? I do. Sadly, though, I will never be a part of it. Well, in terms of other shows upcoming, From Season 4 should come out sometime early next year. The Boys Season 5 at some point next year as well. I don't think we have a release window for Lanterns yet, do we? the DC Green Lanterns buddy cop kind of... Was that a show or a film? I think that was a show. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention too that the animation quality was top-notch this recent episode. You really see an improvement. More care, quality, and passion put into the animation this season. And you know what? I appreciate it. I notice it, and I really do appreciate it. Why do you think this season took so long? I mean, season 1, that alone, the story of why that took so long, that just alone makes sense. But you know, animation takes a long time. We also have season... I think it's 4 now, of Invincible. Yeah, season 4. We're getting Lee Pace voicing Thrag. That's a big W casting right there. I can't wait to see Thrag sound like Ronan the Accuser. That deep-ass, yet still majestic voice of his. And I already mentioned this. You guys have seen all the things that Zack Snyder has been posting. And he said he's only getting started, too. Yes, please, more. I see here the name of the song is just called Piss. You know what? That's fitting. Why is this song so good? It's just called Piss. It starts off kind of iffy with just penches, but then the theme, the rhythm? Shit, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but yeah, the song builds. You know, if anything, I bet this is the hardest part. Making sure you write not only unique, but catchy songs for every single episode. For God's sake, every episode has 2 songs, too. I bet that took one. That was one that took the longest. I mean, hell, Phineas and Ferb, they at least had 1 song per episode, as in like the A and the B, you know. But like this episode, each episode has 2. Sure, I like some more than others. I think some songs are catchier than others, but still, kudos to them. 2 songs per episode. Yo, this shot here. The shot here where it is Cherry Bomb and Penchis back to back, split screen. One side the red hell, the other side blue heaven. Yo, that is an awesome shot right there. The visuals are just mwah. Damn, I feel I feel so bad for these characters. Two lovers separated by such a far distance. We're not even talking about halfway across a planet. They're in totally different realms. Entirely different kingdoms. Damn, I feel bad for these two. You know me, I'm a sucker for a good love story. I saw something online about a very, let's say, hot scene. A very hot musical scene between Charlie and Vaggie. I have not gotten to that point yet. Hopefully that's the next episode. What? I also want to see Alistair jump back into the fray. He has been pretty inactive for these past 3 episodes. Oh, you want to hear what I did at work the other day? You know those very smelly, greasy, crusty Mandarin people? Yeah, I had to help teach one of them how to insert and remove. And the dude just would not listen to anything I said. Language barrier my ass. The first thing... I swear to God, why do people always ask me this? I swear to God... I swear, if it wasn't for the laws put in place, I'd beat the shit out of you. I was teaching him. The first thing that I asked was, do you guys speak English? Because it was him and a friend. I had to teach both of them at the same time. The first thing I said to these guys were, do you speak English? And then maybe like 30 minutes later, 45 minutes later, quite a long period later, he asked me, do you speak Mandarin? It's like, bitch... Don't you think I would be speaking that to you the whole time if I knew? Why would I have asked you if you speak English right at the front, right at the start? Fucking hell, I hate it when people ask me that. They ask me, do you speak Mandarin? And it's like, wouldn't I have just started speaking that to you had I known? We would be deep into discussion, conversation, whatever it is. I would be, deep into communicating with the customer. Then later on, they ask me, do you speak Mandarin? Bitch, motherfucker. What do you expect me to say? I speak in that gibberish of a language? Yeah, I know how to speak it. I've just been speaking English to you the whole time, just because. It's like, what response do you expect me to say? Yes, I do. I just haven't been speaking it to you this whole time. Why? Just to make life harder for you. Anyway, so that guy, every step I tried to teach him, he just would not listen. He would actively not do it. He would ask me something, I answer him, And then he would turn to my mom and ask the same thing, expecting a different answer. Because, you know, my mom actually can communicate in Mandarin. So he would ask me, do you have this? I told him, no, we don't have that. Even if we had that, you still wouldn't be able to use it anyways, because you haven't even learned with your finger yet, let alone the tool. And then he turned to my mom and asked the same thing. He asked me, does it come in any smaller sizes? I told him no. He literally turns and asks the same thing to her, expecting her to answer, yes, yes we do. Why didn't you ask sooner? I swear to God, maybe I just need a freaking t-shirt that just literally says, in both English and in Chinese, I don't speak Mandarin. Maybe I just need a t-shirt that says that. Because clearly a name badge won't do any good. I'm not exactly gonna get it tattooed on my forehead as if I had it saying damaged. And, well, having a speaker saying it out loud, what's the point? I just simply say no, and that gets the message across. Well, kind of seems like no, shiny Giratina again. What the fuck? Oh yeah, in order to help that guy, I had to cut my own fingernail just to help him insert and remove because he just couldn't get it done himself. And I only cut one finger's nail. It is so weird. You ever just cut one finger's nail? It feels so weird. You feel like it's off. You literally feel on your hands it's off. Like all your other fingernails are long and just one finger doesn't have any nails. It feels so weird. I know I need to cut the rest. I was like, I'm just too lazy too. My hands could be completing the Pokédex instead of 10 minutes cutting them. Oh god, I'm seeing something online. Something bad happens to Angel on episode 6. Oh jeez. I'm only on episode 3! What the hell? I'm seeing here, whoa, lesbian reacts, Hazbin Hotel 202. The hell? You know, I have this guy I talked to on Discord. You know, I recommend him some things to watch. Oh, by the way, I didn't even touch on that yet. I recommended him Hazbin Hotel. He's just like, isn't that show super woke? Not exactly. Sure, the main characters are a lesbian couple and there's a gay sinner as well. But it's like, it's never really in your face. You know? I don't know if I would exactly label Hazbin Hotel as woke. I mean, by all definitions, it would fall under that category, but if you actually watch the show, it's not really in your face. Like, their relationships just aren't that important to the plot, you could say. You know what else is a sin? Oh, jeez. No shiny Giratina. I know. That's not my fault, though. I'm trying. Again, I keep saying this. There are woke projects out there that I've actually enjoyed. Thanks for that ban, by the way. Like, there are actual decent watchable projects out there that are honestly pretty woke. You know, the first one that comes to mind is Hazbin Hotel. But then there's also Agatha All Along. Remember that? I'm still not forgiving that blatant queer comment, but still. The show actually wasn't all that bad. The plot wasn't. Like, it's watchable. The mystery, the build-up, it was actually pretty decent. And I say this all the time. I'm pretty sure I'm, like, the only person who did not hate Gotham Knights. Everyone hated that, and you know what? I can understand why you would hate on it. Fucking interrogated by a cop. It says, you're a man, but it says here on your record you were born as a... Uh-huh. Maybe this is hell and this is your punishment. Man, my punishment would be way worse. We all know that. You know, Hazbin actually did kind of establish that with Penchus, he kind of took his guilt and that kind of brought him hell. What? Brought him to hell. It's not necessarily the sins you commit in your life, because by the looks of it, when we saw Penchus' backstory, he didn't really do anything bad. He was just an inventor that kept to himself. He even said in his own backstory he didn't really have many connections. He didn't really interact with other people. He was just a hermit living by himself, inventing and just watching. People watching. But then he just simply didn't report or stop a killer, probably Jack the Ripper. And then he took that guilt to him, with him to hell. Let me tell you, if feeling guilt brings you to hell, oh, I'm going down to the deepest level, let's be honest. You know, in the episode, Vox actually did reference they had a reservation at, like, Dante's Inferno. I guess that's a restaurant in hell? That's neat. But let's face it, when I die, I will look back on... in order to look at everyone I love, I would have to look up from the deepest, darkest, hottest pit. Because honestly, ain't no way I'm meeting Jesus when I die. Let's just face facts right here. And you know what I didn't even cover? And we're about to run out of time. What I didn't even cover was the fact that, you know, yet again, no one ever takes my recommendations, but here I am, the cuck, who just, yeah, watches everything that everyone tells me to watch. I watch From, goddammit. And then a certain someone here is highly recommending Chainsaw Man, and I'm just like, you know what, sure. Sure, I'll give that a shot. Yet no one ever takes me up on my recommendations. Remember Severance? That show, how big that was a little while ago? Yeah, a friend of mine, he was recommending that to me as well. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I still want to, though. Like I said, there's just too much content in the world and only so many hours in a day. But yeah, no one ever listens to me when I recommend something to watch. They always say it's too boring or, oh, 11 seasons? It's too long. Y'all forget how good we had it back then. Back when cable was a thing. Sure, it may have been overbloated with filler, but you would still have content throughout the year. Nowadays, you have to wait years for the content. You have to wait like 2-3 years in between seasons for like, what, 6 to 8 hours of content? When in the past, you had like 22, 25 hours of content, and that spanned throughout the year, regardless of if it was relevant to the plot or not, filler or not. Y'all forget how bad, how bad we have it now, how good we had it back when cable was still a thing. You think I want to wait like 2 to 3 years for 6 more episodes? Anyways, we're about to end it for tonight because I haven't even done the dishes yet. One more. Well, can you believe this fucking thing? I'll see you next time.